Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, here with another special roundup and preview of the very best bespoke trunk shows that we can look forward to this spring. It's always a great privilege to travel to the great European capitals and visit within them the many incredible heritage companies crafting bespoke menswear to the highest possible standards. But it is also a delight to meet with these same amazingly skilled artisans and their representatives when they visit the United States. And what could be more convenient than being able to discuss and perhaps commission the creation of a beautiful bespoke garment from one of these highly sought after heritage companies than when they come here and visit our own great cities. So I'm delighted on today's video to present my curated selection of the very best bespoke tailors and shirt makers with trunk shows scheduled throughout the United States in the next few months. And I hope you'll share my excitement as we examine all of the quality, craftsmanship, and tradition they represent. First and foremost, of course, let us start with the pure bespoke tailors of Savile Row. These, of course, are the legendary tailoring houses with rich history that have been on Savile Row almost for as long as Savile Row has existed. Of course, that can be considered a pure bespoke, doing 100% of their work on premises on Savile Row at the absolute highest level. Not only is the quality of the cutting and the craftsmanship of these suits absolutely incredible, but you also have the provenance of knowing that you are purchasing a suit on Savile Row, which is the capital, the epicenter of bespoke tailoring in the world. So if you're looking to learn more about these Savile Row bespoke tailors, look no further than our Bespoke Tailors Pricing Roundup, where we walk through these bespoke tailors, talking a little bit more in depth the differences between them, between their cuts, and then more importantly, just the pricing at one of these bespoke suits costs. So with that, let us start with what is considered the father of Savile Row, that is Henry Poole. Henry Poole, of course, was the first tailor on Savile Row, and Simon Cundy, the managing director, is a good friend with whom we have filmed extensively with on this channel. Of course, if you are a loyal and dedicated viewer of Kirby Allison on YouTube, Simon is no stranger, as he was featured extensively in our Suit to Shoot series, where we followed extensively the creation of a 5-piece bespoke shooting suit, all the way from the cloth being woven up in Scotland at Lovett Mill, and Simon and his head cutter, Alex, taking my measurements, cutting the cloth, having this suit made, going through several fittings, and then finally traveling all the way back up to Scotland to go shooting in this incredible creation with Simon's great company. Of course, this is a bespoke tailoring house that I couldn't more enthusiastically recommend, and they have an extensive trunk show schedule here in the United States. Henry Poole has 5 trips to the United States, beginning in February 17th to March 2nd, April 30th to May 6th, June 18th to June 29th, October 1st to October 12th, and November 14th to November 15th. As you can see, they have extensive coverage here in the United States, visiting Jupiter Island, Palm Beach, New York City, Boston, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Seattle, San Francisco, New Orleans, Atlanta, Chicago, and Nassau, Bahamas. For further information, of course, please consult their Instagram or website. Up next, we have Dege Skinner. Again, another incredible heritage firm on Savile Row, doing a pure bespoke by every standard. Dege Skinner has a very rich tradition in their military tailoring, doing work not just for the British royal family, but also for many royal families around the world. We actually have a beautiful shop tour and video with family owner William Skinner, where you can learn more about this unique firm and their incredible history. Dege Skinner's upcoming trunk show is February 10th through the 14th, and they'll be visiting Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Austin, Dallas, Memphis, Palm Beach, New York, and Washington, D.C. For further information, of course, please check their Instagram and website. Next up, we have Kent, Haste, and Lachter. Of course, John Kent and Terry Haste are no strangers to this channel. We filmed an incredible series with them called our Double Bespoke Commission. Of course, not just one scoop, but two scoops going in for two different bespoke commissions from legendary tailors John Kent and Terry Haste. I have to say this video series was an absolute pleasure to film. These gentlemen are an incredible amount of fun, and it sheds so much insight to their incredible histories and just their command of bespoke tailoring. If anyone is looking for a glimpse of what makes bespoke tailoring so special, look no farther than this series with John Kent and Terry Haste. Kent Haste has 3 trunk shows to the United States, February 23rd through February 28th, May 5th to May 9th, and October dates have not been determined yet, but you can certainly find those on the website. They visit New York and Palm Beach. For more information, please check out their Instagram or their website. Up next, we have Redmayne 1860. This is another great off-the-row Savile Row tailor, if you will, run by Tom Mahone. Of course, many know Tom for his work on English Cut, which is one of the first blogs that started out there on the internet, really opening up this world of bespoke tailoring to so many. We've had the pleasure of filming with Tom. We actually had an extensive video that we filmed with him in his shop that actually ended with us having a pint in one of his favorite pubs just right around the corner. Tom was actually trained at Anderson and Shepherd back whenever he begun and is doing incredible work in that same tradition of their iconic drape cut. So someone that's looking for a drape cut can look no further than Tom Mahone. He's doing absolutely incredible work, and he travels to the United States extensively. His next trunk show is coming up March 20th through the 30th, and he is visiting Atlanta, Boston, New York, and Los Angeles. For further information, please check their Instagram or website. Up next, we have Paolo Martorano Bespoke. Paolo is part of the new class of tailors in New York, this new generation, if you will. He began his career at Paul Stewart and has been running Paolo Martorano Bespoke for 5 years now, primarily focusing on New York and Palm Beach, but they are rapidly adding additional cities, which I'm glad to say also includes Dallas. Their bespoke garments are constructed using a network of tailors located both in London and New York. And if you take a look at their Instagram profile, you can see that Paolo is doing absolutely exceptional work. I mean, it really is something to admire. Their bespoke garment begins at around $7,500, but they just launched a made-to-measure program for $4,500, so take a look at that. Now, his dates are February 7th through the 10th in Miami and Palm Beach only, and then March 12th through the 26th, visiting Miami, Palm Beach, Boston, Washington, D.C., Dallas, and Houston. Paolo, of course, has the distinction of just being one of the few great tailors doing bespoke work based here in the United States, which allows even more ease of access to their incredible product. For further information, please check their Instagram and website. Up next, we have Sartoria Gallo. Of course, Eric Jensen is another great friend of this channel. I'm happy to say that I've known Eric literally from his beginnings as an apprentice, and it's been an absolute pleasure to see him grow in his craft and trade to now running Sartoria Gallo's New York presence. Now, what's unique about Eric Jensen and Sartoria Gallo is that of all of the tailors based here in the United States, he's the only one that is Italian that I know of with a full-time presence here in the United States. Now, all of the work that Eric is doing, of course, is cut in New York City in their atelier, which we visited, but then is sent to Sartoria Gallo back in Rome to be constructed. So for all intents and purposes, it is a 100% Italian constructed garment. And if you're looking for that beautiful Italian DNA that you could really only find in Italy, Sartoria Gallo is one of the best options we have for those living here in the United States. We have filmed extensively with Eric, and I'm actually working on a new commission, and that is the construction of a tweed odd jacket made in Italy. So a little bit of an interesting combination there. We've had the first fitting in New York, which we filmed, and I'm looking forward to seeing this project come along. Now, Eric has 2 upcoming trunk shows. He has more than this, but these are the 2 for which he has dates. February 26th and 27th, and April 1st through April 7th. He'll be visiting Fort Lauderdale, Dallas, Houston, LA, and San Diego. And of course, Eric is based in New York City, so anyone traveling through New York City can easily look Eric up and schedule an appointment. For more information, of course, please check their Instagram and website. The last of the tailors is Stefano Bemer. Stefano Bemer, of course, is the iconic Florentine brand known for their incredible bespoke shoes, but they've recently acquired CKC New York, the contemporary tailoring project of Christopher Corey, and merged Sartoria Verstucci, the heritage Florentine brand, all into Stefano Bemer. So this will be the first trunk show by Stefano Bemer, offering both tailoring and shoes for a total look. So they're really becoming kind of a one-stop shop, if you will, for that iconic Florentine Italian lifestyle, doing work at the highest level, both in tailoring and bespoke shoes. Now they haven't released their dates quite yet, but Tommaso says that their cities are to include Miami, Dallas, possibly Houston in March, and Los Angeles and San Francisco in April. Of course, for further information and confirmed dates, please check their Instagram and website. Up next, we have Bespoke Shirtmakers. Now here we begin with Wil Whiting, another good friend of mine, and part of what I call this new generation of bespoke artisans that are young, energetic, and doing work at the absolute highest level. And now Wil Whiting travels with bespoke shoemaker Daniel Wiegand. Now what I appreciate about Wil Whiting is his absolutely fanatical approach to detail. He is one of the most detail-oriented shirt makers I've ever come across, and that really shines through not just in the make of the shirts, which is absolutely impeccable, but I think more importantly and oftentimes less appreciated is the work he puts into the pattern making. If someone is looking for a truly one-of-a-kind bespoke pattern for their shirt, something that absolutely nails their physique, look no further than Wil Whiting. There's no question that I have encountered few shirt makers that approach their craft of pattern making with the same thoroughness and rigor as Wil Whiting. So I've got a few bespoke shirts from Wil Whiting. Of course, I've been incredibly happy with all of them. And I know several people that have gone to have shirts made from him that have all been phenomenally happy as well. Now, Wil's next trunk show schedule is here in the United States, February 14th to the 22nd, and he'll be visiting New York, Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Of course, for further information, please reference his Instagram or website. And finally, we have Bud Shirtmakers. Bud Shirtmakers, of course, ranks as one of the heritage bespoke shirt making firms in London. They are based in the Piccadilly Arcade, which is an absolute mecca of menswear. And they really anchor this entire arcade as far as menswear is concerned. Now, within London, Bud is probably best known for really being the destination of formal kit, all of your black tie, white tie, and other accoutrements that surround these British events. Bud is without question the expert and destination. But of course, the foundation of all of that is their bespoke shirt making business, which they have been practicing for over 100 years in London at the Piccadilly Arcade. Now, one of the unique things about Bud, and we filmed an entire series with Bud as they made a bespoke shirt for me, is that all of their pattern drafting and cutting is still done on premises, which for a London-based firm is quite rare just considering how expensive the real estate is. So if you walk into the Piccadilly Arcade shop, not only can you have one of their bespoke cutters take your measurements right there, but they simply pop right upstairs to draft your pattern and cut out that fabric before sending it to their factory in Andover to be made up. So the provenance of their bespoke shirts really is second to none. And of course, the quality is right there as you would expect from a heritage London firm. As I mentioned, we have an entire series of Bud making a bespoke shirt for me. You can see my measurements being made, the initial consultation with bespoke shirt maker Darren, to him drafting the pattern, to fabric being cut, and to us actually going to the factory in Andover to see this shirt be made. So an incredible series that if you're looking to learn more about what goes into a bespoke shirt is probably the most extensive we have done. Now, Bud travels with the London Collective, which is a group of other tailors and shoemakers. And so a lot of their dates are the same, but they are slightly different in a few areas. Now, at the filming of this video, their dates have yet to be confirmed, but please check thecollective.london for more information. But on their last trip, they visited San Francisco, Los Angeles, Austin, Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and New York. But as I mentioned, whenever we film this video, their dates have yet to be published. So please check their Instagram or their website for more information. So there we have it. That's our spring 2023 Bespoke Trunk Show Roundup for bespoke suit makers and shirt makers. As I mentioned, here in the United States, we really have the privilege that a lot of these heritage firms travel extensively on regular trunk shows, extending that quality craftsmanship and tradition that 100 years ago you could only find in London, really deep into the United States. So if you're someone that has not yet really dabbled in bespoke, but would like to try out one of these firms, take a look at their trunk show schedule and see about visiting them on one of their US trunk shows. Of course, if you do that, let them know we sent you. And all the people that we featured in today's video are also people with whom we have filmed. And so one of the best ways to learn more about them, of course, is by searching our incredible library of videos. Of course, if you plan on visiting any of these makers, let us know in the comments. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them in the comments as well. Otherwise, of course, one of the best ways to support the content that we film on this channel is by visiting KirbyAllison.com, where you'll find the largest collection of luxury garment care and luxury shoe care accessories in the world, as well as other great clothing accessories for the well-dressed, like this beautiful sovereign grade necktie that I'm wearing, pocket square, braces, socks, and really so much more. So if you haven't visited KirbyAllison.com, please take a moment to do so. Otherwise, I'm Kirby Allison, and I love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes while exploring the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition. Thanks for watching.